Hey, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, no matter what time it is. I hope that you, my friends, are having another amazing day. My name is Carl Freund, CEO and broker for Kenneth James Realty, and today is essentially November of 2023. Let's be honest, times are tough. Market is less than desirable, and a lot of agents are hurting for money. As a matter of fact, some of you might even be considering doing an exit. And I've heard, I've gotten a lot of DMs on my Instagram. By the way, follow me on Instagram, Carl_Freund, and you should be liking and subscribing as well. I'm getting a lot of DMs lately like, hey, look, I can't make my mortgage payment. I'm stressed about money. They don't know what to do. Agents need direction and they need strong leadership right now. So that's exactly what I'm going to give you. I'm going to tell you what to do, how to do it, how much to do it, and all the other good stuff. So like and subscribe. So today's content, we're talking about hitting the phones, canceled and expired listings specifically. I'm going to give you the exact script. We're going to go through a little bit of objection handling, some questions to ask, and then obviously we're going to wrap this thing up. So guys, if you do want this script, I'll give it to you for free. I'll put a link in the description. All you need to do is like and subscribe. So I really appreciate you on that. Follow me on socials. A little bit of background about me. Okay, so I've been on the phone for a very, very long time, and I've made close to 1 million dials. That's not 1 million contacts. I've made nearly 1 million dials in my career. And so understand, I spent the bulk of the first 10 years of my career on the phone, and literally that was my primary driver of income. And so for reference, my first job out of college was selling windows and siding, doing telemarketing calls 6 days a week in New York. And that's not an easy place to sell. So if you can do it there, you can pretty much do it anywhere. And so here's the script that I'm going to use. I'm going to give you the framework, and then we'll break it down just a little bit. So here's the situation. You want to do who you are, then you want to give them a reason for your call, and then you want to give them a basically open-ended question. Something that's very, very easy to answer to get that conversation started. So let's break it down. I'm going to give it to you word by word here. Hey, my name's Carl with Kenneth James Realty. Look, do you need to say you're with Kenneth James Realty? Yeah, yes and no, maybe so. It depends on your brand, right? If you've got a very strong brand that's very prevalent in your market, go ahead and add that in because it's going to add value. But if you work for a company that doesn't have a whole lot of market presence, you may want to exclude that and just say, hey, my name's Carl. The reason for my call is that I specialize in selling listings that previously didn't sell, which is exactly what they have. They have a canceled or expired listing. And what did the agent not do properly last time? Some version of that question. How did the last agent screw up? Why didn't your home sell? Why don't you think your home sold, or whatever variety, some kind of version of that question. And then just shut up. Just shut up and let them talk. And some people are gonna be like, not interested, click. Cool, move on to the next one. We got thousands of leads, thousands and thousands. As a matter of fact, I pulled my expired cancel leads today. We had 1,400 in the last month here in Phoenix alone. I'm operating in Phoenix market currently. I operate in 13 different markets. Just in Phoenix, 1,400. Obviously, they're going to say, well, my last agent didn't market the home, or they only threw it in the MLS, or they, didn't price it, they didn't market it correctly, something like that, some version of that. And so then you want to start doing some more leading questions, right? What do you think a fair price range for the house is? And make sure that they're giving you a price range, because a price range is going to be a little bit more accurate. They're going to kind of give you the bottom and kind of the top. And it means you're probably going to want to be closer to that bottom number is really what it comes down to. Hey, look, how much are you looking to net from the sale? That's a really powerful question. How much are you looking to net from the sale? Because what you're doing is you're going to set it up later to help you with the commissions questions, okay? When somebody's like, hey, I don't want to pay 6%. Hey, I don't want to pay 8%. Whatever it is you guys charge in your market. Ideally, how soon are you looking to sell? I'm trying to find motivation. So I'm trying to find motivation here. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to qualify something into the 4 quadrants. Let's talk about the 4 quadrants for 2 seconds. So you can imagine 4 squares. 4 squares. Bottom down here is going to be people that are simply just not interested. Bad timing, bad situation, not a good prospect, somebody I don't want to talk to. One line over, tire kickers. These are people that are generally just kicking tires. They might, say, hey, I'd be interested if you give me a ridiculous price, right? Like they're just kicking tires, literally. Then you have somebody over here. This is a seller in power. So a seller in power is going to be somebody that has motivation, but not the urgency to sell. And so, what you're trying to do is trying to, create a sense of urgency. And what you can do is say, hey, the market conditions allow you to exit this house right now and take advantage of the market. It's generally a seller's market, but that may change soon, right? November 2023, that may change. Hey, in April, when you're trying to sell in April, hey, it may be a buyer's market and you're going to kind of shoot yourself in the foot. You want to do that? Or you want to lock in the highest price right now? Let's go. Other one over is a seller that is in heat, right? Or a buyer that's in heat. Something that needs to have a transaction happen right now. There's urgency and they have the capability to sell, right? And so that's a lot of people that you're going to be talking to have some sort of motivation to sell. It's your job to figure out which quadrant they're in. And so I'm only talking buyers not buyers in heat, sellers in heat, or sellers in power, right? And those are the only two people that I'm really trying to talk to. I'm not trying to talk to tire kickers, definitely not trying to talk to somebody that's just waste my time. Other things, is there anything that could use attention in the house? There's a reason why it didn't sell, right? It's probably either overpriced, it's got no curb appeal, it's got bad marketing, bad pictures, a variety of things like that. There's a whole host of reasons why a property didn't sell. And it could be just they're stubborn sellers, simple as that, right? Like they just are very difficult to work with. They didn't want to do any price drops or price adjustments. You know, they're maybe denying access to the property. I've dealt with that quite a few times. And so you're gonna have to figure out, is it the house? Is it the seller? Is it the price? Is it the market? Is it the marketing? What is the problem with the previous listing? And then hone in on that pain. And then we're gonna try to, you know, really overcome some of those objections which you're gonna have. I want you to sell the future. Hey, what's your next move gonna be, right? Like, what are you trying to move to? You trying to move to Poughkeepsie? All right, cool, we can make that happen. Let's get you out of the city. Hey, you know, you wanna go upstate? Cool, we can do that too. You know, so like, start painting that picture of what life is going to be like when they actually solve that problem. And so it's very, very important to understand that you're going to have to figure out and build a little bit of trust there, professional trust, which is different than personal trust. Build a little bit of professional trust so that they can open up to you a little bit. And so let's just talk about trust for 2 seconds here, because I think a lot of people confuse personal trust with professional trust. And so if you've ever lost a deal to another agent from somebody that's in your family, you have personal trust. They trust you as a person. You do not have professional trust or authority. And so by asking these questions and staying in line with exactly what you want, which is talking about the house, not talking about their pets, or, you know, you hear a dog bark, oh, what kind of dog do you have? Nobody gives a shit, right? Stay on the subject. Simple as that. Stay focused and ask them relevant questions about solving their problem and care genuinely about it. So you're gonna ask them a couple of questions. I'm gonna give you some things that you shouldn't be saying. Number one, hey, my name's Carl with Kenneth James Realty. How you doing today? Shitty, my dog just died. What do you want? You know, so like never ask somebody how they're doing, because the answer is gonna be, fine, how are you? Good, good. Okay, now then, and they already know it's a sales call. Legitimately, if somebody calls me and says, hey, is this Carl? And I say, yeah. Hey, Carl, this is Bob with Appliance Repair. How you doing today? I'm like, Bob, don't want to talk to you. You know, I'm just not interested. Click. You got 2 seconds, literally 2 seconds to make up your mind and like if that's a sales call or not. And by saying, how are you today? Is literally the best indication that is a sales call, because that's what every other salesperson in the world uses. So stop doing that. Other things you don't want to say, it drives me freaking nuts. Hey, just checking in. Checking in on what? I don't know you. Checking in on what? Checking in on the weather? The weather's great outside. What do you want to check in? You know, like don't say that kind of stuff. It drives me freaking nuts. Here's some things that you do want to do. Obviously, ask open-ended questions, but make sure it's in line with solving a problem. You're calling to solve a problem. That's exactly what you're trying to do. The house didn't sell. Let's sell the house. You know, so stay super, super focused. And then dang it, shut your mouth, because a lot of times people like don't embrace that awkward silence. Just let that awkward silence. The first person that talks is going to be the person that loses. That's just the way it is in sales. That's just the way it is. So embrace that awkward silence. You ask a question, shut your mouth. Ask leading questions. Hey, look, if I can get you your full asking price, would you sell today? What do you think the answer is going to be? No? The answer is going to be yes, of course. I need my full price. What's your asking price? Give me a range. Here to here. Cool. Now let's set up an appointment. Let me come take a look at the house. Be direct, but don't be insensitive. And so don't start out by asking financial information. How much do you owe on the mortgage? It's none of your business, right? Like you have to build that professional authority and trust first in order for you to even ask those kind of questions. So keep it very, very light. You know, ask them things about motivation. Hey, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself next year? If I could sell this house, what's your next move? And so some very, very simple questions like that to help you build that trust and build that authority and give you the ability then to ask a little deeper questions like, hey, how much do you owe on the mortgage? Is there anything else I should be aware of? Do you have any kind of BKs or kind of foreclosures? You know, are you late on the payments? Like I need to know these things in order to set a proper expectation when we have a listing presentation. I need to know your motivation for selling. And so those are the things you want to do. You can use some trial closes here. So you're going to go through, you're going to do your intro, a strong intro, which I just gave you. You're going to ask some questions, which I just gave you. And now it's time to actually do a little trial close here. And so let's just do this. So what's most important to you, a fast sale or highest price? Because it can't be both. We understand that it can't be both. Well, realistically, I need the highest price. Cool. Then what you're going to do is set the expectation. Hey, if you want that highest price, it may take a little bit longer on the market. Maybe asking for a 6-month listing at that point, right? Hey, if they're just looking to pump and dump, yeah, we can do that. I've got wholesalers that can buy that thing from me today. What's your bottom line, right? And start having these conversations. And maybe you want to set it up in person. So obviously the goal here is to set the listing presentation, finding the motivation first and understanding that some people just don't need to sell right now or don't want to sell right now. Put them in your tickler, man. Call them back in like, put them in your CRM. Call them back in like 2 or 3 months. And by the way, if they say 6 months from now, half that. If they say 3 months from now, half that. 6 weeks. Would you consider putting your home on the market for 10 days to test the waters? I've done this a lot, and this works really, really well, especially kind of in a weird market where it's fluctuating very quickly. Hey, if I can get you maximum price, let's just throw in the house or the house in the market for 10 days and just see what happens. And there's no risk. And really what you're trying to do is remove risk and remove commitment there, because some people are just kind of commitment phobes, right? Like they don't want to tie it up for 6 months and have to do showing after showing and open house after open house, take their kids out of the house and just the dogs and put the dogs in doggy daycare and do all that crap. They just want to, trial 10 days. If it sells, awesome. If it doesn't sell, then we can have a different conversation, okay? Go back to handle the objection of why the last agent didn't sell. I want you to let them feel that pain and then solve that problem. And really what it comes down to, bottom line, and I'll do a whole different video, so like and subscribe, on how to actually market a house properly. It's not just throwing it on the MLS. It's legitimately going out there and doing advertising, and that's something I specialize in. And so guys, hopefully this helped you out. I'm gonna do some more stuff about objection handling and really, really moving that conversation along and talk about mirroring, pacing. I do a whole 9-week sales course. If you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll repost that. I did a 9-week sales training last year, which was very, very, very good, and it really talks about all the different things in terms of opening, which is your intro, discovery phase, objection handling, going back and doing try closes, getting the actual close and setting the appointment. We'll talk about listing presentations and how to do listing presentations effectively, because I truly, truly believe I'm one of the better salespeople in this industry, and I have a duty and obligation to share that information with you. So, last call to action, guys. Look, I am hiring in different states. I do have a brokerage called Kenneth James Realty, and we are hiring in California, Arizona, Colorado, Florida, and Georgia. So if you're interested in working with some of the best in the business, or the best in the business, as a matter of fact, please do take 2 seconds to reach out to me in Instagram, Carl_Freund, and I can't wait to have some conversations with you. So thank you very, very much for tuning in. Genuinely appreciate your time and your consideration, and I hope to talk to you very, very soon. Thanks so much. Take care. See ya.
Turn a 10 piece to a 20 quick. I got money busting out the money clip.